That was from Step Brothers. Never Jesus.
Where's this going?
Yeah, no, you first set it up as a commercial, then you made a movie reference, and you were wondering why we were left behind. Can I continue, or do we have some extra accolades to throw on there? First of his name,
greatest living American,
almost undefeated ones. Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
oh boy,
welcome to the Juice Boy Show.
Glad to be here, fellas.
Hey, three brothers who love each other so stupid much. They decided to start a weekly sports podcast, guys. Too stupid to stop after 43 of these. This fine programming entertainment. Sports podcast. Oh, geez, I can't read. Sports podcast for the sports morons.
It's us.
Am I reading any of it? Yeah.
Deep breath.
We're bound by the three B's, guys. Booze, betting, and bullshit.
In reading.
And, hey, now.
That begins with B, right?
Yeah.
Reading. Wait, no.
No, not that. Yeah.
I am the third turd Cody. We got Juice Boy Joe and Mr. Pope Pelletier. As always, we thank you so much for joining us. Shows drop every Friday. Be sure to follow on Instagram, YouTube, Tickety Talk, all the latest fun pieces of sports content. Guys, this show's blown up like the NCAA. The whole thing's just coming down.
It's coming down.
We're going to talk about it a lot.
Is it blowing up, or is it just decaying?
Yes, it's survival of the fittest. So we will get right into that, boys. What are we drinking? I've missed you all. Missed the Juice Junkies. We had a great week last week. Memorial Day.
We did.
Break.
It was a great,
very nice week. Yeah.
What are we drinking?
Boys, I didn't leave my town in 4 days. I loved it. I did not go past the stoplight in Bailey, which was fantastic for 4 days. And I
stoplight.
The stoplight. That's one of two in our county. And yeah.
In the whole county? I don't know if I knew that.
The other one is directly in front of Joey's house.
No, used to be. They took that out. No, but I've been on this cocktail binge lately, and I tried a fancy old fashioned like Chris was doing with the peach, and this one's got some. I know this sounds really lame, but I've been kind of liking this. This is a hibiscus.
Hibiscus.
Are we
There's
classy?
hibiscus in this, guy.
Hibiscus. What's the base whiskey?
You can see Joey's face.
This is Maker's Mark with hibiscus and some honey.
Where do you get hibiscus from?
My wife.
That makes sense.
No, it's delicious. It's delicious.
There's a bar down the street from me that does a hibiscus old fashioned with Japanese whiskey, and it is easy to fall ass backwards into a mortgage payment worth of those.
Chris, can you beat it? Last time we saw,
100% can.
He was drinking a.
You can beat a hibiscus,
fellas.
Hold on, Chris. You did survive, right? You survived last week, and
fellas, no bad has happened so far from drinking the questionable flask aged whiskey, and now we're just swinging that happy ass pendulum right back the other way. Because I'm drinking some tasty Balvenie 14-year Caribbean cask scotch.
Whoa. What the hell is that?
Oh, it's heaven in a glass, boys. Out of nowhere. This might be like this honestly might be my favorite scotch of all time.
Oh.
And it just so happened that Costco had it, and so obviously I had to come home with one.
Of course.
We are fans of Costco. Endorse us, Costco.
Wow, Chris. You guys are really classing up the joint. You know, I was feeling a little tight the last week or two. You know what I mean? You know what loosens up tightness?
A mustache?
A little dickle.
Oh, okay.
Dickle. I'll bring us home. I'll bring us with the traditional dickle. And Chris said that, yes, I do have a mustache for this episode. Not proud of it, but my lovely wife
I'm kind of
wanted to keep it for at least another day. So
I'm kind of proud of it. You don't have to see people. You work behind a computer. Just let it roll.
Yeah, I gotta talk to people. They gotta see it. Oh,
let's get the Tom Selleck status here.
Oh, lordy,
excellent.
I'm not quite as thick.
Not
got a face for radio, boys.
Just the most great.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is an audio only format, but we spend a lot of time describing one another. Mm-hmm. So, listener, just so you're aware, this mustache just got in trouble for teaching Cody's 18-month-old how to make a Tom Collins.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. Yeah, it is.
We're really classing up.
It's not allowed within 100 yards of schools.
Well, Chris has got some nice scotch. You got a hibiscus drink, and I got a mustache.
Yeah, we're really
hibiscus.
Our IQ is increasing with the minute. You guys know the drill. We got a sports doc and a fun one. We got a lot to talk about. We got a squeeze of the week by me and JoJo, a big potato or big tot of the day, and a nice juicy stat of the day to wrap us up, NBA style. Oh, boys, a lot of happened right when we logged off last week. Colleges can now officially pay their athletes. I think it's $20 million per Power 5 is like the budgetary restrictions that they can.
And it's based off of revenue sharing. And so they have to pay off like 10% of their revenue sharing off to their players. And so big schools, you're going to be able to pay a lot.
Oh, yeah. The rich absolutely just got richer.
That's and NIL, we should say, NIL does not change.
No,
so this is in addition to NIL.
No, this has nothing to do with NIL. NIL is getting paid by outside of the school, outside of NCAA for any use of your name, image, and likeness. This is now becoming, you are paying your players as professional athletes to be at your school, and you are splitting the revenue of what you bring in. Who does this only benefit?
It's only the Power 5 that this is, and this has all happened from the NCAA.
Power 5 what? Power 5 what?
This has all happened from the NCAA. Pretty much thinking like they're going to lose a lot of legal cases, so they settled because they thought they were going to lose, and now this means that
this is just Power 5 football. This is only thing that people care about. The revenue that football brings in is absurd. Are you telling me? Yeah. So this is a win, for the women's lacrosse, which actually I watched the women's lacrosse national championship this weekend. It's one of the most incredibly entertaining sporting events I've ever watched. I watched Boston College come back from 6-0 down to win 14-13 in the last minute, beating Northwestern. Me and my wife and a friend were watching it hungover on Sunday morning. We happened to be on. Watched the entire game. And at the end, I was losing my mind. It was incredible action. It was awesome.
Moron, baby.
It was amazing. But anyway, so this is not going to. Yeah, it's a win for the women's lacrosse player that can get 10% of the revenue sharing of what they have. But this is a really big win for Quinn Ewers in Texas. This is a big win for that boy. All right, so I mean, this is going to be a lot of money coming his way. And there's a lot more to it, but that's the first part.
Yeah, I mean it's a gold rush. It's a gold rush. There are no rules. Everything's expanding so fast. There is no one actually holding the reins.
Nope.
Because the NCAA is just a crumbling relic of a forgotten time that is trying to sustain itself before the wrecking ball comes in. Just ends things.
There's no way that they will last another 10 years. From this point right now, the NCAA will not be in existence in 10 years. They're like the way that they're going, it's impossible.
What do? They put on a basketball tournament?
I think we're all in agreement here of just like this is the death throes of the NCAA. And I think it does demonstrate that like for a long time, the NCAA really held real power, really held the boundaries in such a way to where we didn't see this insanity. But it was as soon as there was just a tiny crack in the foundation, that dam has come crumbling down and everything is spilling out. And so it's one of those where it's like, for how long was the NCAA actually just, still holding the reins and no one took the time to really test them, really push against them because they knew that there wasn't anything actually tangible behind that. Yeah. There was no more strength. There was no more weight behind it. And now we're seeing that the wheels are coming off. I'm just jumping around to 1,000 different metaphors because it's just like, by God, like we're watching this ancient relic just crumble before us. And it'll be interesting. Something is going to have to step in and replace it. Something is going to have to create some sort of.
But then what do you do with the precedent that's set with the players getting paid and these things? Like, then what's going to happen?
Oh, no, I think players getting paid is the future. It's just how do you develop some sort of structure for those folks that are on the track and field team, for those folks that are on the lacrosse team, the water polo team, all these different athletics that are a money sink rather than a money maker,
which is the majority of college sports, right?
Almost all. What was that old commercial for Enterprise Rent-A-Car? They give you the tools to succeed. All right. Now, when Enterprise Rent-A-Car used to hire a lot of old. You guys didn't
former athletes. Yeah,
I was from Step Brothers. Never, Jesus. You guys look.
Where's this going?
Right.
Yeah, no, you first set it up
rented,
as a commercial, then you made a movie reference, and you're wondering why we were left behind.
Like, you guys were like, "What the fuck?"
I'm still thinking, "What the?"
Because you're dancing around in two different things.
No,
just
Enterprise.
Are we sponsored by Enterprise all of a sudden? Is that what you're trying to say? Are they giving us the tools to be our own boss?
They do, but they used to say that like 98% of collegiate athletes will not go pro in their sport.
Oh yeah,
and that's just, that is a unbelievable statistic. So thank you, Enterprise, for stepping up and giving these people jobs.
My thought is, and we texted about it. I'm a little more business centric, and so the logistics around. Are you a 1099 employee? Are you an employee of the college? Because the scholarships are not going away. So are you a student and an employee?
Do you need to go to school?
Right. Do you offer health care because they're an employee? Is there 100%. Retirement with that? Is there pensions? God. Is there and right now Pat Forty of Sports Illustrated came out and said they're trying to avoid them being employees of the college. So that means the only way is you're 1099 contracted. So then do you offer financial help to these people?
For these fellas who keep medically redshirting and getting waivers, after 7 years, are you technically tenure track?
I mean, you're on it, dude. You're there.
On it. What, that's 7 years of
I think you get tenured
by
in teaching
university
after 3 years.
Yeah. One of the small things I do like is this will, at least for the basketball side, this will allow players to come back and not be forced to go one and done because they were so broke and maybe in poverty in their family in high school. They can stay 2 to 3 to 4 years, make money, get their education. Football's already built that way because you have to be a junior.
But does cut the G League off at the knees. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's what NAL was for, and that's what it thinks. I disagree with that take, but
also hey, I wonder if you have a squeeze about.
I do.
Yeah, do you have more to share, Mr.
Later, I do.
Professor Linehan.
A little tease for my squeeze.
I love it when you tease us.
Damn face. And then also the whole capitalistic market's going to come in. Are you going to pay the quarterback $10 million and the backup offensive lineman 14 cents? Like there's going to be a pay scale for your 1099 employee. Like it's going to be a. What about the captain of the volleyball team, who's maybe just as valuable to her team compared to the quarterback? But the
We'll talk, McCoy.
All right, guys. And
we don't want to beat this to death too much. Joey's got a hot plate full of shit to serve us later.
Oh, can't wait. Well, speaking of a hot plate of shit, old Angel Hernandez.
Oh.
If for those who don't follow too closely, the 30-year Major League Baseball umpire has become very famous. He's trending a lot in the Twitter sphere, social media. He has announced his retirement after he was not forced out. His lawyer did come out and say.
But when is he retiring?
Immediately. He's
effective immediately.
Right now.
So there is a umpire union. So he wasn't fired. He did retire, but
he did.
This is a beautiful day for the Major League Baseball crowd. What do we think?
I think this is a huge win for Major League Baseball because the reason they are changing the game is because of this asshole. All right, like they are changing the game to be fake robot umpires because of how horrifically bad this guy is. It's really not that hard to call balls and strikes. Now everybody says, "No, I'm telling you, it really isn't." Like you have from chest to knees, and you have the plate. You have from chest to knees, and you have the plate. Everybody on TV can see it.
They cannot.
Everybody, when you watch it on TV, everybody knows. The players know. You cannot miss. If I got, every time a kid got in trouble and I wrote it down and I messed up my write-ups 14.8% of the time, that is unacceptable. That is 100% unacceptable. Him having a correct percentage of 85.9%.
It's not good.
Is horrific. That is absolutely horrific. He had a game this season with the Astros and the Yankees where he missed 28 calls. In one game.
Wow. That's a
fun. He missed 28 calls in one game. No, like they're saying that the MLB just said, "Please, Angel, can you please retire?" He was only behind the plate for 10 games this season because he had a back injury last year. And of those 10 games, he missed 161 calls.
Oh, my God.
In only 10 games behind the plate. I mean, and now if you extend that over 30 years.
Oh, he's extrapolating. 30
years of a Major League Baseball career. This dude has ended people's careers. This guy has turned games, has cost seasons. You know, and like when you have Kyle Schwarber, who strikes out more than he gets on base. Okay, and like that, and that might be a real statistic. I know he's a leadoff hitter, but he strikes out like 200 times a season. When he strikes out and loses his shit on how bad the call was, I think you should probably know that dude knows what a strikeout is. All right, like he's seen it 200 times a season. All right, and so when Kyle Schwarber is losing his mind, throwing things up in the air, and then I remember when Angel Hernandez ejected a guy at Wrigley Field when he was doing the take me out to the ball game, right? Because understand that you have total control over the stadium if you are an umpire. You can throw at anybody.
Oh, that's right. Did you really?
You can throw at anybody.
Amazing.
You can throw at anybody. And so this guy, you know how the Cubs fans always have somebody come in and do the take me out to the ball game, and that's why. Dude,
we've never heard it.
Three strikes here out.
Is your take almost over? Dear Lord.
No. So he turns around. The guy made fun of Angel Hernandez for his bad calls. He throws that dude out of the game.
I don't know. I respect that move.
Angel Hernandez tossed him. Like he was such a prick.
I would be so excited to be that guy. Imagine telling that story at every get together you ever go to for the entire rest of your life.
Ever. Yeah. I respect that old Angel.
Thank God he's gone.
85%. That's not too hot.
That's terrible. He was atrocious.
He was an influencer. He got more traction on social media than anyone I've ever seen in sports.
Honestly, he was the biggest story in the MLB this season.
It was the jerseys and Angel Hernandez.
There's no way this guy's coming back, and he's back. So
let's quickly hit on the Mavs and Celtics. Seem to be steamrolling to the finals. Ant-Man is not. He had one of the sickest dunks I've ever seen in the playoffs, but. The finals are almost. I think Joe's watching right now. What's the score of that game, JoJo?
I am. As we speak, Minnesota is up 36-29. 7 minutes left in the first half.
There you go, listener. A live update that you can enjoy several days from now.
What do we think of the potential finals? Are the Timberwolves dead? Should they be dead? Is Ant a little overhyped right now?
Oh, they definitely should be dead. I mean, I don't know if he's overhyped. It's one of those where I think that this is a bad matchup. The stars for the Mavs are stepping up in a way that the Nuggets never could have. Kind of everybody playing all at once.
Yeah,
and so I think they're exposing that. Yeah, the Timberwolves, especially Anthony Edwards, seems like the future, and he's just not there yet. You know, it takes time to develop that cohesion. Yeah. You know, same as the outcome for the Pacers. Like they for all intents and purposes seem to be legit on the come up. Same outcome for the OKC Thunder. Like there's a lot of incredible young talent. I think next season after, like it starts to get real crowded.
The West is going to be
in the West
hard.
and up
and
in
Wemby's still coming. Wemby's still
coming.
The Pacers had a 90% winning probability in 3 games against the Celtics, and they were swept.
And they didn't have Tyrese Haliburton, and they still almost won that. Oh man. That just sucks. But also, on the other hand, good for the Celtics. They're proving that they can win games when it's tight, and they can come back.
That's right. He's a Boston guy. We got to hear this bullshit.
All right. I'm just saying. It's just good for good for them to be able to prove that Jaylen Brown is actually playing like holy shit. He might be worth the money. He's playing his ass off right now. You know, and
because Jason Tatum is a clown.
Jason Tatum is up and down, bro. His times when he looks like he's the greatest player.
Oh, Chris is calling him a clown. Okay.
Yeah. There's times when he looks like he's the greatest player in the league, and there's times when you're like, you're gone, you're absent. Now, they are putting together a Nuggets run, maybe even better than last year. They're 12-2 right now, guys. That's pretty freaking good.
Which is weird because we think they're beatable, which they are beatable. I mean, the Pacers should have won 3 games of that series, but they seem.
But at the same time,
closing.
They figured out how to close, which that was always their Achilles heel in the past. They didn't know how to close. Now, Dallas, I hate Kyrie Irving so much that there's nothing I can do but root against them. I got to eat.
You got to respect him though, JoJo.
I do. No, I cannot. I hate him. and I hate him. I got to eat crow and say that my take of who was going to win that Game 7 is going to win the NBA Finals. That's not going that good right now.
No, it's not.
Minnesota has just laid an egg, and it's just where the hell was this effort against Denver? We would have fucking killed them.
I have a mini squeeze that's going to age 15 years. This is the moment for Ant Edwards of Michael Jordan against the Celtics, where he scored 63, and Larry Bird saw God on a basketball court. That dunk was the arrival of Anthony Edwards, but he's just out of gas.
It'll be this,
so he's not going to win. No one remembers.
It'll be the Olympics this year.
The Celtics beat the Bulls when Jordan had 63, but no one remembers that. So,
I do. I remember that.
Joey remembers that. So
Joey remembers all.
Yeah. So this is the moment in history where Anthony Edwards takes that leap. He gets the fandom over. He kind of becomes part face of the league, but he's not going to win it this year. And then now the ticker is going to be on him. Can he win a ring in the next 1 to 10 years? Just like the Michael Jordan moment of the Celtics. And then wrapping up, it is official as of, I think, right after last week's episode, NBC has winning the rights. I think it's all official. They have won the rights of the NBA from TNT. They're going to start NBA Night in America, Basketball Night in America on NBC. They're still putting together their team. Thus, officially, we have 1 year left of Inside the NBA with Kenny, Shaq, Chuck, and Ernie. As of right now, it's going to be canceled. This is pretty impactful for three dudes of our age. We have grown. The show's been on for 25 years, I think. Where do they go from here, guys? This hurts. This hurts.
I have no
Round
idea.
Ball Rock is coming back, though. We did post on the Instagram.
And he's going to, but the problem I heard is that he's going to try to make it better. I'm like, no, do not try to redo that. Don't redux it. Don't do what Steven Spielberg did with all of his movies and turn the guns into walkie-talkies. We don't need that crap.
It's extremely deep cut there.
That was a deep cut.
Yeah.
Only Chris and Joey. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that was
from
from
Lost Ark.
That was from in Raiders of the Lost Ark too. And for E.T., they replaced all the guns with walkie-talkies. And I was like, oh, come on.
Why?
Because it's not woke, bro.
That's really what it is?
Yeah.
They did that
gun safety?
25 years ago.
I was going to say.
Hey, woke is not new. Yes, it is.
What do we think of Inside the NBA? This hurts. This is
terrible.
A gut punch.
It's so
absolutely
bad.
terrible.
I mean, it's going to be a bummer to see it go. I think Barkley was probably not too far from looking for an exit ramp anyway. Yeah,
but he was getting pretty controversial. He is.
I just
it's in his
think
contract. He's a free agent.
Give a shit. Yeah. I think he's just firing from the hip because he's been there so long. But I don't think it's like his passion project anymore.
McCoy, you cut out. You said he's a free agent. So Charles Barkley could sign with NBC.
Yeah, he has a clause in his contract that he could get out. If TNT loses the rights to the NBA, he's officially a free agent. Ernie Johnson has come out and said he wants to stay with TNT. So that's where a lot of these things, if NBC tries to grab him, it gets real dicey. But Shaq can't. But yeah, everyone has said Ernie holds that thing together.
Ernie, leave. Be on the Olympics, dude. Ernie would be great on the Olympics. And NBC has a lot more to offer. And when they add basketball, they will have a lot to offer. Turner has a lot right now. But if they add basketball, Ernie has to go. That would just be like, they cannot let this break. They can't do it. It's the greatest.
It's on Adam Silver, your favorite commissioner.
Sports talk show. Currently, not my favorite of all time, you dick. It's just saying, currently, he's the best active one. I'll put words in my mouth.
Oh, I'll put some dickle in your mouth.
Ooh,
I'll take that.
That's a promise. You can.
They
take
have started to talk. Charles Barkley has a production company, so could he just reassemble it and sell it to Amazon, sell it to NBC, just put it on YouTube like Pat McAfee? There's a lot of moves they can make. Do they want to do it?
He's popular enough. He could.
Ernie's 70 years old. Does he just want to retire? It's just so sad. But also, if you try to recreate NBC, you got to bring that whole staff. There's a whole vibe. There's a whole energy. There's a culture of debauchery.
You can't piecemeal it.
No, an improv, and you can't just put them on a table. It'll be like the sequel.
And it's not even just
a bad movie.
It's not even just the guys on the desk. Look at how the people who are on the cameras laugh. Mm-hmm. They're saying Shaq stares them down. It's just a hilarious work environment. It's awesome.
Yeah. And there's no script for him. Ernie's the only one that has a script.
Falls up the stairs, and when Shaq gets pushed into the Christmas tree like that,
you can't make it up.
It's hilarious. It's amazing.
It's so
the whole staff lost their crap. It was awesome.
They win sports Emmys every year. I just can't believe TNT just said, "Fuck, we just got to pay what it costs."
Yeah,
to keep
seriously,
this because
I don't get how you let that. I mean, that's your bread and butter. Like,
Where's Kevin Harlan
how do you
gonna
let
go?
that go away?
Where does Kevin Harlan go?
Kevin Harlan is TNT. He's CBS Turner, bro. What is he gonna do?
Yeah. Oh, because he's gonna keep doing football, so you can have a NBC and a CBS. I don't know if they would let that happen. I think TNT was more of a cable type of thing, so he'd let them do both. Oh man, life's changing. We have one more year of this greatness.
Chaotic.
Hey, I would like to throw our names in for NBC Basketball Night in America's Talent.
Yes.
By all means.
Can we do that? Is there a hat? Do you guys see the hat we can throw?
We would
Joey's
all
wearing the hat.
We would all look really short up, but we could still.
We'd need a smaller desk. Yeah. We'd need a
I
smaller
need a really
desk.
high chair. I need a really high chair. Yeah.
We would need a smaller.
Yeah.
What's that? Make no. That was so stupid.
It makes perfect sense.
They're
We all
massive.
share-
They're massive.
What?
Yeah.
Ernie
we can
Johnson's
all just
not
feel
that
like
tall.
the little desks.
We're all Kenny's
from
hits.
Joey's school that like none of the component pieces move. You're just
Yeah.
like locked into a chair
Yeah.
that breaks your back.
I
each
remember
have one of
pushing
those.
back on that and cracking my back every day. It was awesome.
Oh, well, I know the producers of NBC are avid listeners, juice junkies of this program. So
You know that the juice junkies are far-reaching.
yeah, DM us. We'll get you on there. We're cheap too. We're real cheap. But that'll do it for the sports talk. It's sad to see the show go.
We're not cheap, we're affordable.
That's
Affordable.
right. We'll be right back.
Value.
This all should have been recorded.
Oh, people just missed out, JoJo, on the best banter of it all.
We did. Did you guys know that Cheap Trick was popular in Japan?
I thought everyone knew that.
because
No
you
one knew
just told
that.
us that.
No, I did not.
Wait, hold on, Joe. Did you just take my fun stat? Go fuck
I did.
yourself. That was my stat.
Oh, I said it.
Oh.
Yeah, but that was
you
I
left it-
told you.
you
I
left it
informed
open.
you.
Listeners,
No.
so just so that you know, when we do these music breaks, even though it's just a recorded podcast that's going to get thrown on the internet, we take an actual break like we're a radio station throwing to commercial.
Yeah.
And in that time, I'll go and take a look at our stats. And we just happened to discover today that we've had 33 listens in Singapore.
Let's go.
So shout out to our dear friend. We're going to
going to
name you
Larry.
Larry. Shout out to
Yeah.
Larry in Singapore. Let us know if you hear this.
Yeah, that's more
And if
than
your name is Lawrence, and I'll be so pissed. Lawrence plays the piano. Yeah, I hope it's you, Lawrence. I hope it's you. Yeah.
All right, shall we get back on board with all of our hooligan friends?
Yay.
All right, squeeze of the week, guys. You guys know it's our most outlandish takes. We had two listener submitted ones last week. Boys are bringing us back home. JoJo and I both have one. Take it away, my friend. What do you got? What do you got stewing?
So I was stewing on this one like before we even decided that we were going to put this on the first thing of our docket. But the payment of collegiate athletes is absolutely out of control. And before I dive into my reasonings, I'm going to start with just saying, I think it needs to stop.
Like
I think-
altogether?
I'm serious. I think that
So all
I think-
NIL and
No. NIL, I'll get you in a second. But if anything that's
okay.
coming from the universities, anything more than just a full scholarship needs to be stopped. And and I just believe it's completely unfair to any other player that is not a college football player. And as much as that
Or
hurts me to
quarterback
say,
even.
no, as much as that hurts me to say that because football is my favorite sport, it's just that's where the money is. That's where all the focus is. And if you're going to be doing revenue sharing and based off of that, then it needs to stop because that is 100% weighed towards the big Power Fives. That is not giving it back to the players. That is not giving appreciation to what they're bringing into the university. No, that could be one on name, image, and likeness. I am a full supporter of keeping NIL. If you're big enough to get those endorsements, to get that money, to get that extra outside to come in, take it. Because back in the day, NCAA used to just benefit off of you completely.
back in the day,
I mean,
it was like
it's
3
saying,
minutes
like,
ago.
No, I mean, like Johnny Manziel, Tim Tebow would have been millionaires off of NIL, and now they're not. All right, and now they're not.
Reggie
Bush.
Bush.
That's not fair.
Johnny Manziel is not a millionaire because he wasted the millions of dollars that he illegally made when he was.
Reggie Bush is a millionaire because he went to
college.
the NFL. But anyway, Tim Tebow's a millionaire too, I'm sure, from other avenues.
No, but from college, I mean, Reggie Bush was like, yeah.
Okay, so I'm saying, you could say Percy Harvin. Remember how electric he was in college? He would have been everything. Anyway, so keep NIL. They deserve that. If someone is selling your name, image, and likeness, if they're selling your name, that they're selling your jersey, if you are on NCAA and you're in it's the new video game, yeah, get your money. That's fine. They're using your name. Do not pay them as employees. Do not pay them to work for your school. That is not college. That is not a part about growing up. That is not about a part of developing a work ethic and developing a structure. You can't just be sold to the top highest bidder. You have to. Everybody in college went through this shit. Everybody in college had to bite tooth and nail. Now, if somebody's selling your crap, you earn it, but you shouldn't be getting paid to go to school to be a player at that school. But that's not college. That defies all of the purpose of everything about what it means to be an amateur athlete, a collegiate athlete. And I absolutely hate the idea of universities paying their players. And we were talking about this earlier. The college football quarterback is going to be the highest paid person on campus over the president of the college.
Oh, that is a great point. Oh,
the person who runs the college.
I didn't think about that. That's spicy. That is spicy.
Of course they will be. And if you're saying, okay, so we can take revenue sharing, and for women's water polo, you're going to get $800 as our top player. You take revenue sharing for Texas football, they can sign you to $10 million. That's more than the head coach is making. Like this is completely and utterly out of control. And it's led to this other point that I didn't bring up when we were talking about it earlier. There's another new settlement that just happened that is going to back pay players from right now. For the past 10 years, they reached a $2.8 billion settlement with the NCAA that they have to pay back all of that money to players who apply for this payback. Anybody who played since the 2016 season.
When did I play? 2017, baby. No, fuck. No, it was 2014.
Okay, since the 2016 season.
My community college Wyoming money is not. I'm not going to get it.
So this is literally the agreement. It says that this $2.8 billion payment to be made over the course of 10 years is geared to the current and former athletes as far back as 2016 that lost out on possible profits from the NIL landscape.
I really lost out.
To 2021.
We're so close.
Now, that is absurd. You're going to go back and play players because they were not eligible at that time. What is going to happen next? Is Barry Sanders going to be like, I was the greatest player of all time. You owe me $10 million. I mean, like
O.J. Simpson's family?
Like this is, oh, Jesus. See what you have to go.
Okay.
But I just,
you know what I mean? If you said Barry Sanders.
Where does it end? Where does it end? They have to stop it now before they get worse and then figure it out.
So
did you say O.J. Simpson rest in peace? Why would you? You don't want that peace.
I didn't say that.
No, I said that.
You want like a rock on his on his side. You don't want him to sleep nicely. Like
no, that's his road trip buddy.
I don't know. What am I going to do? Disparage the dead?
Yeah, you want that to be not a peaceful rest, but I diverge. I digress. Continue.
All right, so I can't help, but one thing really stood out to me. So these kids are going to go to college and get paid. And that's not college, according to Joey. Joey, for the record, who was your employer in college?
Arnold State University.
Oh, wow. Wow. I can't believe you managed to somehow pull a collegiate experience out of your ass despite the fact that you were employed by your university because your university managed to exchange money for the time, energy, and effort that it dictated that you gave in order to meet its expectations of you as its employer, as dictated by the National Labor Review Board. which is who is actually coming in and making these decisions on behalf of Power 5 conference, of universities at large. Like, these kids previously were getting paid. It was just under the table. You mean to tell me that the, main quarterback at the University of Alabama, their mother just all of a sudden happened to qualify for a VP position? Like, they were finding creative ways to give money under the table to these kids. Now they're trying to revamp that and say, let's actually put this out in the open.
Do it right.
Actually create a structure to where this can be tracked, to where this can be, discussed openly, and actually try to create equity, versus before it was just a wide open secret. Everybody knew happened. Everybody had the understanding that it was going on, but it was, how much is the NCAA willing to come in and investigate, versus how creative were you capable of being to skirt the rules in a way that they would look the other way because they wanted to. And so to say that this all needs to end is complete bullshit. It's instead finally giving an opportunity for these payments and for these kids to earn money in a way to where it can be out in the open, to where it can be understood and known. And because of that, there is an actual opportunity for people that are lower down on the totem pole to get a share of that, rather than just the tippity top few players
beat them down,
cashing all of those checks. Mike dropped.
We'll pick it up.
Wow. Yeah,
Thank you.
That was pretty good, buddy.
All I was going to say was...
Also, as soon as you said that's not college getting paid by your university, I was like, Joey, come on, man.
I did. I worked at the dining hall 4 years, baby.
And you actually got
about $11.80 an hour as a student trainer. I was proud of that.
But you also got years towards your teaching job, so you came out with
it. I actually did.
Yeah, you're tenure track, like we were talking about.
State employee, so I was paying into para for 4 years.
The only thing I was going to mention is
it
does bother me that pretty much you're not going to go to school. It doesn't matter about the coaching, the relationships, who's going to put you in the best position to succeed. It's all about how much playing time do I get day one? How much money are you going to pay me to visit? How much money are you going to pay me to stay there? So all the amateurism stuff is obviously dead, but that part rubs me the wrong way. Just I don't like it. It's not going to be about this coach is going to help me succeed, put me in the best position to be drafted or to be a better man or woman or anything like that.
Are you willing to take a pay cut to go work or to go play on a team where the coaching staff is going to give you the best opportunity to succeed? Are you going to go do a collegiate level Tom Brady? But there is still space for that. All it does is put these people in a position to where those conversations, those negotiations can happen out in the open rather than behind closed doors. And now I can't even go and talk to other coaches and go, hey, these guys over here are offering me this, blah, 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 blah. Like, I actually have a leg to stand on in these negotiations. I think it empowers the student athlete. But I agree. Like, there still needs to be some sort of structure created here. There still needs to be something reining this in that creates, some sort of boundaries. But that doesn't mean that just because we don't have the answers, there couldn't be some sort of way to structure that to where it empowers the student athletes, gives more money on down the line, and winds up creating a more transparent process for all parties involved.
I'm gonna pocket mine for next week because I think mine will be good for next week. So
okay.
You're scrapping?
Okay, we got a lot out of this one. No, we got a lot out of this one.
There's a lot of pulp. Yeah.
I would rather wait and let us just have this whole thing be broadcast because I had a lot of fun there.
Of course, yeah. And you did well, my friend.
That was good.
Mine will be relevant next week, maybe more relevant. So I wanted to we'll tease.
Okay.
Juice junkies, weigh in here, buddy.
Yeah.
I want to hear whose side are you on? Because I feel like we both made good points. Chris maybe a little bit more, but what side are you guys on?
Yeah, Larry.
This is like my Super Bowl. I've never heard Joey back off an argument.
No, you made good points, bro.
I appreciate it. I'm so honored right now. I'm glowing, in case you can't notice.
Yeah.
Joey, if people like yourself, that doesn't make sense. If people want to submit squeezes of the week like you just did, how do they do so?
Listeners like me. You can submit your most outlandish sports take by emailing us at juiceboyshow@gmail.com or send us a DM on Instagram at juiceboyshow with how many Chris's?
2, Chase, damn it.
2.
Come on, Chase.
Come on, Chase. There's the poll. We're going to read it on the show. My boy Chris has a little different announcement today. So, Chris, with heavy hearts, who's sponsoring today's show?
Yeah, so fellas, today we're once again going to go ahead and move away from our usual joking manner with these ads to discuss something really important and poignant right now. Today's episode of the Juice Boys Show is brought to you by Mental Health Awareness Month. So, listener, for those of you who aren't in the know, this weekend the golfing world was rocked by the suicide of Grayson Murray, a 2-time PGA Tour winner, one as recently as earlier this year. And he took his own life one day following his withdrawal from the Charles Schwab Classic. And for me as a sports fan, it just brought up thoughts of, how often we wind up hearing about mental health struggles of athletes, but these so often get dismissed or mocked. But the message that stood out to me from Grayson Murray's passing is just that dark reminder that there is no height you can climb where your personal demons can't follow. So please, if you are experiencing mental health struggles, make use of supports available to you. We here in the U.S. are lucky to have a new national suicide hotline, which can be reached 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. All you have to do is dial or text 988 in order to access that. And honestly, in addition to that, please remember you never have to suffer alone. Reach out to friends and family. As a mental health professional myself, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard massive relief from my clients just by simply opening up to loved ones, inviting them to help with your mental health struggles, allowing those around you to just kind of help carry some of that burden on your behalf. So please just remember, even though May is coming to an end, mental health issues continue to need our support 12 months of the year, which is just my clever way of disguising the fact that us three morons forgot to mention Mental Health Awareness Month until recording our episode, which drops on the final day of the month.
That's what we do. That's what
Absolutely. Yeah, we took our time with this one.
Mm-hmm. Very important. Thanks for doing that, Chris. All right, boys, let's jump right into the big potato. The big tot is what we call this, our big topic of the day. In honor of good old Mr. I can't talk tonight, boys. How much?
Wow.
You sound like a
you want to
sixth
take
grader.
this from the top here, fella?
Wow, a little too much dickle today.
Why don't you take a lap and then come back?
All right, and to honor Mr. Angel Hernandez,
yes,
one of the worst umpires.
You got there.
Yeah, we got there, guys. One of the worst umpires Major League Baseball has ever seen. We thought we would honor him by having a special guest, Mr. Angel Hernandez. I can't talk. Damn, I ruined my own joke. God damn it.
I think the important thing is that you're trying really hard, and that's coming across.
Oh my gosh, guys, what is
that mustache is just changing your personality. Just taking you're just partying too hard,
sucking the little intelligence. See, big tot of the day
over here. But there we go.
Joey, what is the big tot?
Please, this intro is taking longer than the potato itself.
Save me, Joe.
All right, friends. The tot for today is the worst calls in sports history.
Yes.
So everybody has known Angel Hernandez by blowing games,
messed it up.
by blowing games and making the worst calls on a regular basis. So, boys, the worst calls of all time. Now, we have one that is the Roman Coliseum. We've already talked about it, and that was my boy Armando Galarraga losing his perfect game with Jim Joyce calling safe on an absolute no-brainer. So that one's already out. So, McCoy, we'll let you start this week.
Oh, I'm going to go.
Your first pick for worst calls.
2012 NFL. You guys remember the replacement refs?
Oh my God!
We're calling this.
I remember watching this game with my dad. Dude.
We're calling this.
Oh my God! I forgot about this.
It's called the Fail Mary. And I forgot this was Russell Wilson's rookie year. This was a primetime game, the Packers-Seahawks. Russell Wilson throws a Hail Mary, and there's a huge referee strike. So the NFL brought in replacement refs.
Yes.
I think it was the middle of it. Things were not going well. It was a PR nightmare. Blown calls every which way. Primetime game.
Like
the whole country's watching.
Like, This was like the epicenter of the shit.
Holy shit. Russell Wilson throws a bomb, Hail Mary. Technically intercepted. It was a jump ball.
Yeah.
Player comes down for the Packers for the interception. Should have ended the game. One referee. No, they actually look at each other. They shake their heads that they think they agree on a call. One guy throws up a fucking touchdown, and the other guy throws up a touchback.
No, incomplete. The other guy was incomplete.
Was it incomplete?
Yeah, both
all while the clock.
All three possible outcomes.
Yeah.
All while the clock goes 0. Oh my gosh! Listening to Mike Tirico and company try to figure out what the fuck just happened, and then all the refs look at each other like, "Oh my god!" To say that happened, and social media was just kickstarting where Twitter blew up. I think everyone remembers just what happened. How could this happen? Replace the referees. What's the right call? What's not? I think it was officially called a touchdown.
They gave it to the Seahawks. Yeah. Because they had the call on the field. Yeah.
All to say, it was such a bad call that the NFL referees, the union, signed a deal within 4 days, I believe. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, that was absolute mayhem. Just seeing them look at each other.
And they shake their head.
One saying incomplete. And I think Chris was right. I think the other one said safety. And I think it was just all three people at the same time. Just we have no idea what just happened.
And they had to talk about it, but then you have to get into like what's the precedent, because if you call a touchdown, does that supersede everything?
But then
who
called the touchdown?
Right.
Who was the first one to call it? Because somebody called incomplete, somebody called touchdown, somebody might have called safety
or touchback.
Who was the touchback? Who was the first one to make the call? And they went with the touchdown.
The best part is the fine detail where they both shook their heads that they're like, yeah, bro, we're on the same page. We got this.
You.
And then,
hey, we met 45 minutes ago, but I think we're vibing.
Yeah.
We got it. Yeah.
Holy cow. The NFL, let's just say whoever the union leader was.
Oh, you've got to imagine. He immediately calls Goodell and goes, "You ready to come to the negotiating table, motherfucker?"
Didn't even say a word. Just slid the piece of paper like, go ahead and sign here, friend. Kick it off with the Fail Mary. Christopher, what do you got?
Oh, no, going in order. It's me next, brother.
Oh, we have an order?
Okay.
Oh, there's always an order. There's always an order every single time.
This is Joey's show.
Every single time.
The order is however.
Usually skip me, McCoy. Usually skip me after yours and go to Chris like you just did.
There's an order. Power trip.
There's an order because you guys always say, oh, Joey always goes first, because then always me, then Chris, then you, then back to me. So I pay attention. I listen to these episodes, dude.
Okay, you're like, God damn it. If I'm not going first, I better be second. Otherwise, I'm going to take 5 minutes out of the show to bitch about it.
That's right.
Okay. Joey,
why don't you go ahead, buddy?
Bless us with number 2.
So last week, I wish I would have saved my USSR America basketball game, because that would have been a great one for this. Mm-hmm. So when I was looking through and I was going, I was going through some research, and I found what people said was the worst call in Olympic history, and I want to tell you guys about this. All right, in 1988, in South Korea, Roy Jones Jr., who we've talked about, who's arguably the fastest hands ever in boxing
of all time,
lost to a South Korean named Park Si-hoon for the gold medal. Just saying that out loud just sounds absurd. Wait, Roy Jones Jr. lost,
who is currently sitting on top of the world, loses to nobody.
What? All right, so all of this goes back to 4 years later, because when the Olympics was in LA, 36 out of the 37 decisions for the USA were in their decision. All right, so they won 36 of 37 of their matches that they fought in Los Angeles. Okay, so the next 4 years it goes to South Korea, and the South Koreans were freaking pissed. They literally felt wronged by what happened in LA 4 years before this. All right, and they got to this point because Park Si-hoon won 4, they call them phantom decisions. He won one by punching a dude in the dick, and they didn't call it. It was blatantly below the belt. And then he won 3 by controversial decisions. Okay.
Wow.
And so when they come into this gold medal match with Roy Jones Jr., the United States journalists said you could like feel the tension. So you just walk in there and the hostilities were unbelievable. Like they said, if it went in Roy Jones Jr.'s way, that they were like worried about their lives. These Koreans were just going insane, like in Seoul, just ready to go nuts. So the fight starts, all right, and Jones absolutely pummels Park, like he's toying with him, like he's knocking him down. He had 2 different 8-second counts. It comes down to the end. He doesn't get knocked out. You know, if he was knocked out, there'd be no controversy. But
yeah.
But so it comes down to it. And this random volunteer from South Korea goes and just peeks at the scorecard and he sees it. And then he goes nuts. And then the entire stadium just goes insane because they're like, wait a second, we just won this. And they pull up Park's hand and they give him the gold medal. And even he put his head down. He was like, what? Because when it came down to it, Roy Jones Jr. outpunched him 86 to 32. Sorry, I'm dyslexic. 86 to 32 and had 2 8 counts in this fight.
Yeah, that's a weekend at Bernie's after that. Lost by decision. And then after the fact, at the end of the Olympics, the Olympic Committee named Roy Jones Jr. as the most outstanding boxer of the games. Oh, my God.
So they knew. Everyone knew. I mean, obviously.
It was in. The fix was.
Dude, the Olympics is like that, though. Like, it can absolutely be swayed by just local and international corruption. Like,
they're saying that they don't know nuts. If the people, if they would have put down the scorecard that Jones won, they don't know what the stadium would have done.
So that guy, the guy who was scoring, thought he was doing like God's work.
So, yeah, like safety. So even the referee was like, "What the hell just happened?" The referee like almost refused to put his hand up. So people say the worst call or the most corrupt moment in Olympic history, and we know a lot of corrupt moments in Olympic history. So that's a good one.
Oh, Chris, that's heavy hitters.
Egregious one.
Bring up the rear.
Boys, yeah, I'm back on my bullshit here today, bringing the thematic potatoes. And today's theme is pissing off my juicy co-hosts. Oh, Joey, how would you like to talk about the tuck rule?
Not very much. I talk about how it's sparked a dynasty.
A fan favorite.
Yeah, so dear delicious listener, back in 2002, Thomas Edward Patrick Brady is facing off. Yeah, you got it.
Though. You missed Junior.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll get it next time. Can I continue, or do we have some extra accolades to throw on there? First of his name, breaker of chains,
greatest living American,
almost undefeated once.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they're squaring off against the Raiders. And old QB Tom Brady is getting plastered by old Charles Woodson and drops the ball. It gets ruled a fumble, would have resulted in a Raider win. But instead, the refs went and looked, and even though it appears to be that he is tucking the football, getting ready to try and stop himself from fumbling, they ruled it an incomplete pass, resulting in a field goal, resulting in overtime, resulting in a New England Patriots win, blah, 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 blah. All the shit that Joey wishes I would talk about.
Yes.
But it's all based around that the NFL had to make sure that Tom Brady wasn't kept out of the Super Bowl. Oh, my God.
I didn't even know who he was at that time, Chris. He was a nobody. He was a nobody at that time. All right, like it wasn't even not even one full year into his career at that point. They were not trying to protect him. It was a trash rule.
So the first of many times that the NFL stepped in and gave a trash ruling to favor Tom Brady. So that even predated when he was Brady.
Yeah, it did. It really did. They didn't win a Super Bowl yet, but no, it was a rule. It was called. Is it a fair rule? No.
Absolutely not.
But is it a rule? It is a rule. And the Pats fans will always say that is retribution for a bullshit call in 1976. My dad will die on this hill. He said the Patriots should have beat the Raiders in 76, and they got called back on a bullshit pass interference. Oh yeah, I wasn't alive. I wasn't alive for forever. My dad. He's still alive, but he will die on this hill. He will die on this hill saying that was bullshit. That they called roughing the passer Kenny Stabler. That was his name, and the Pats lost. And that was the Patriots' best season they ever had. So he said that was just 25.
They held on to their payback for a quarter century.
25 years later, and that was okay.
Shit.
That was retribution.
All right, guys, I got a fun deep cut. It's not that fun. It's
kind of sad. Is it a sad deep cut?
A little sad deep cut.
At least I had conviction and allowed Joey to argue with me. You're arguing with yourself without even saying anything yet.
This one's a doozy. 1962. I'm gonna go boxing just like Joey.
Okay.
Old Emily Griffith and Benny Parrott.
Are you sure his name wasn't Emil? How was it spelled, McCoy?
Probably like Emil.
Okay, I was going to say, his name is definitely not.
I wanted to go with Emily. I like Emily.
I was like, I have never heard of this in my life.
I like Emily. You don't like Emily?
No, it's got to be Emil.
Is
it Meille?
It's Emil.
It's Emil.
Guys, this is not my day. This is not. Can I get back to the death of my friend?
Please.
No.
Beat the shit out of him.
Let's beat the shit out of McCoy a little more.
I'm having a day, guys. Oh, I'm having a day. It's not happening.
It's the mustache. You got to lose it, bro.
This is the second best moment of this podcast after you don't have to get it.
And I have to edit around this shit. And there's no way around it. That's the worst part.
You're screwed.
Good old Emil Griffith.
Back to Emily.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Continue with Emily.
Beat the shit out of the guy, never regained consciousness, and went into a coma, died 10 days later. Now imagine being the referee of that. That's a bad call. You blew that call. A guy just died because you didn't stop the guy from beating the shit out of the guy.
Yeah.
That's when he goes to manslaughter he goes to court for manslaughter. You should be there for being an accomplice.
So that's your second. That's your second worst call of all time. Is like based on
the guy died. What do you mean?
Yeah, but I mean. People die.
He was
in boxing.
They do.
He knocked him out, and he never regained consciousness.
This happened recently.
You didn't even get the name right.
That's a blown call.
It's a blown call.
I mean, that's probably the most consequential call that any of us will go with.
No, but he kept beating the shit out of him. He kept the referee should have stepped in.
In fairness, it's definitely the most horrifically consequential call.
Yeah. That's a call you got to make.
Boxing like 5 years ago.
But you got
awful. But, All right, Cody. After that, I'm going to go with something that's called the Cleveland Bottlegate. This was phenomenal. All right, back when Cleveland was trying to get a resurgence back in their franchise, they were the Baltimore Ravens. And then they were gone for 5 years, and it was like you cannot not have a Cleveland Browns in the NFL. So when they came back, they were trying to get a real big following, trying to get some good fans, which they still had. And at this time in 2001, they were 6-6, trying to make a playoff push, playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they were down 15-10 with a 4th and 2. Okay, with the 4th and 2 in the final couple of seconds of the game, and they converted this 4th and 2 with a pass, and they ran up there. Tim Couch ran to the line of scrimmage and spiked it. What just happened?
On 4th and 2?
No. After they converted it.
Oh, okay.
They converted it. Then he ran up and spiked it. So what just happened?
First down's done.
First down's done, right?
Yep.
And now it's 2nd and 10. This has never happened and never hopefully will ever happen again in NFL history. The officials went back and they said, no, we have to review the catch on the 4th and 2 conversion. After they already snapped the ball and spiked it.
Are these the rental refs again?
No, this is not rental refs. So they went back under the hood and they overturned the call of 4th and 2. Game over. All right, they overturned it.
Wow.
So
what year was
this?
What year was
2001. And after on the way out, they were just getting pelted by beer bottles. And that's why to this game it's called Bottlegate, because to this day, all bottles are universally banned in sports. You have to have cans or plastic, because they were just pelting these referees with bottles on their way out. So it's called Bottlegate. And the only time ever a play had happened, and they went back to a previous play and overturned it. And
what did the refs say? What was their
said it was an incomplete pass.
No, but why?
No, but like, why did they say that they could go and overturn?
Because they just didn't. They got the play off too quick, and then they were not able to stop it in time.
That's on you, bro.
Yeah, that's on you, bro. You can't do that.
You're the ref. You're in control of all of this.
And he spiked it.
Like, if you set the ball, they are free to snap it.
Christopher, bring us home, friend.
In keeping with my theme of upsetting my juicy co-host, Cody, how would you like to talk about the 1998 NBA Jordan pushed off? So Jordan is being guarded by who was it? Brian Russell of the Utah Jazz. It's the Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals. Jordan has the ball. Of course, everybody knows Jordan wants the shot. He's not giving this ball to anybody.
No way.
Multiple quotes from teammates just being like, what was your thought in that moment? Get out of his way. I know that the ball's not coming to me. Get out of his way so he can't be double teamed. Force them to play one-on-one, and he pushes off the defender, creates space, hits the game-winning shot, lights out, done, ball game, series over.
So you're calling the blown call that it's a no call?
That it's a no call?
Yeah. Say it's the worst blown call. I mean, did he not push off McCoy?
His hand was on his tush, but he was already leaning that way. He tripped him up on a crossover.
Brian Russell, which we all know it's pronounced Brian. Brian Russell was a phenomenal defensive player, and there's no way that he would have just kept his momentum going that hard.
Yes, he did. His feet were. Joe, you agree with this? What?
I do.
What?
I do. As much
Are
as
you
I
serious?
As much as I love
his
Michael
momentum
Jordan
was going that way.
Okay, so would I have called it? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Would I have ever had the balls to call that?
No way.
No. Can you imagine that in that moment? That's going to be what everybody thinks is going to be Michael Jordan's last play of his career. And
you're going to be the one to call it?
Offensive foul. Oh, my God.
On a touch?
Can you imagine what history would be if they made that call? Oh, my God. All right. Remember, friends, you can listen to the show on all major podcast networks and YouTube. Please follow and rate the show and leave us a review through Apple. And we encourage.
Man, we are just fucking
We're crushing it here, boys.
We got a problem.
Great.
Too much whiskey in the system from Memorial Day. Oh my gosh.
Please follow and rate the show and leave us a review through Apple. And we encourage you to follow the YouTube channel and Spotify. Push that subscribe button. Also, be a friend. Tell a friend about the podcast. Join our Juice Junkie community. I love that ad right there. Oh, let's do it. All Cody, right, back to you. Don't skip me. Cody,
I'm sorry.
Back to you.
Yeah, don't let him walk over.
Not our tightest episode, boys. Boy, Christopher, who is sponsoring today's big NBA stat of the day?
Fellas, today's stat of the day is brought to you by the Pac-12. Now I know what you're thinking. The Pac-12 technically no longer exists since the 2023-2024 athletic season has come to a close. It's here to reassure all of our fans across the globe that we will rise again like a great phoenix. But we're here to ask a little help from the Juice Junkies, as this is the premier sports podcast of this modern era.
Maybe not.
So Juice Junkies, now is your time. Do you happen to know the athletic director of your local community college? The Pac-12 is taking all comers. You and your boys assembling a mediocre soft pitch softball team for this summer. Apply right now, and we can get you officially registered as a university with all the financial backing you've come to expect from the Pac-12. Or dear Juice Junkies, if you just so happen to be Scott Barnes or Ann McCoy, athletic directors of Oregon State and Washington State, please, baby, return our emails. We promise we'll treat you better. We can change. We'll give you anything you want. Just please come back to us here at the Pac-12. The Pac-12. Just because every champion caliber program has left does not mean we're not still the conference of champions.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Do not talk
sorry, not
to advertisers.
These are paying
sorry.
customers.
Sorry.
My God.
All right.
This is why we never get somebody coming back.
we don't get a lot of repeat advertisers.
Not much. Really just the Harbaugh family.
That's right.
All right, guys.
Khakis.
Fun stat of the day. NBA playoffs are ahead of us. Actually, kind of, sort of. This is to honor...
The NBA Finals is ahead of us.
Yeah. This is to honor Bill Walton, just passed away, but also
Bill,
a lovely man, an amazing basketball player, amazing basketball man, but also a joyful person who would not want us to, sorrow in his death and more have fun. So, if a lot of people may not know, Bill Walton, go look him up. He played one of the greatest centers of all time, UCLA. Played for the Celtics, won a ring, and won Portland Trailblazers. Had an afro as a white guy. He was a hell of a player. Had really bad back problems and stuff, but just passed away of cancer. To prayers to him and his family. He was a huge Deadhead, Grateful Dead fanatic. All right, guys. How many? Grateful Dead has played over 2,300 concerts.
Oh my God.
Bill Walton attended how many of those?
Oh, what a stat. So let's think about this rationally, okay?
I'm going 150.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm going...
That's a shitload of concerts to go.
It is, but when is concert season?
365 days a year. Are you kidding me? Tell the Swifties.
That's true.
Sure, but that's mostly in other countries. She's here in America in the summer. Basketball is not played in the summer, especially back in the day when there was 12 teams. Whenever it was, and as a college kid, you had those summers off. I doubt their programs were as rigorous back in the day. We'd be there all the time. I know this is going to sound ridiculous because I always go high. I'm going to go like 800.
900, Joey. Damn, you were really close.
God.
Bill Walton.
What?
Yeah.
I think it was
more than
900.
a third of every single concert they've ever played.
Oh, yeah. Deadheads followed them for the entire summer. That's what I was saying.
That's insanity.
They play in the summer. I guarantee the only time he wasn't there was when he was playing basketball. And every other time he was there.
Yep. I think he wrote in his autobiography 869 concerts. So Joey's pretty damn close.
Pretty damn close.
Damn, let's go, baby.
Chris, not even
holy
close.
Shit. I thought like 1 out of every 5 was incredible.
Wow.
That's impressive. That is
he
very
played
impressive.
604 basketball games in college and NBA. So he's been to more Grateful Dead concerts than games he played in the NBA and college.
And they say, and they test marijuana as a performance enhancing drug.
That is
can you just imagine that giant man comes lurking from nowhere, just vibing out on LSD?
Jeez.
Yeah, no drug testing back in the 70s and 80s, I guess. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
His wife said that's less than 20 shows a year because he was going for over 48 years. He was going to Grateful Dead shows. So 20 a year actually isn't the...
That's it.
Like it's only
less than 20 a year. That's all.
Wow.
Jesus.
Fun little stat of the day. R.I.P. to good old Bill.
Incredible.
You will be missed in your personality, announcing, and everything for ESPN.
I didn't know he was sick.
Yeah, I'm just
I was
floored.
sad. I was bummed. He was a ultimate.
Yeah, that was a shocker. That was for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, guys? I'm shocked we made it through this fucking episode.
Holy hell.
Barely.
This was not.
Train wreck.
This was not.
If you guys made it, damn, we owe you better next week.
This was. We're not submitting this to the Sports Emmy or Sports Emmy Reels. Let's just say that we're not. We're not winning any awards on this episode, but we had a lot of fun, a lot of laughs.
We just need Juice E back in here to make us classy.
It was this mustache. His mustache going away.
Was that it?
Too much dickle. I don't know what it was.
I mean,
I can't read. Joey can't read. Chris is.
I've never claimed to do anything worth.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Love, guys. We appreciate you all so much. Send in your DMs. Send in all your shit.
Let it end.
Peter, we just fizzled out as worse as we can.
End it as love.
Just take it out back and end it like old Yeller.